The following program is a production of Pioneer Public Television. Welcome to another episode of Compass, Pioneer Public Television's public affairs program in which we inform, educate, and sometimes entertain. I'm Jim Thoreen. Minnesota's backbone industry since our founding is agriculture. Billions of dollars in economic impact on our state, hundreds of thousands of jobs dependent on a strong ag community. In this episode, we explore two aspects of agriculture: a story of specialty farming, which has become a thriving business. And in the bigger picture, we discuss the state of agriculture in an era of trade wars and tariffs. Two special guests will lead us on these slightly different paths. Minnesota Agriculture Commissioner Dave Frederickson was appointed by Governor Dayton to this capacity in January 2011. Previous to this post, he farmed with his wife Kay near Murdoch, served as a Minnesota state senator, and was elected president of both the Minnesota Farmers Union and the National Farmers Union. Our other special guest is Tom Smoody. He and his wife Jenny farm near Pierz and have created a homegrown sunflower business with a national following. The Smoodys also raise beef and cultivate hundreds of acres of their primary crop, sunflowers. So, sunflowers, sunflower oil. Gentlemen, welcome to Compass. Let's start with the small story, if you will, important within the huge story. Smoody sunflower oil in a state covered with corn and soybeans. So, Tom, as we take a look at this short version, how, why, and when did sunflower oil get launched on your Pierz farm?
Well, it started back in 2007 and 8. We had a really bad drought, and we were looking for a different crop to grow other than corn and soybeans. So we decided to look at a feed source for our cattle and crush all at the same time. And oil ended up, or the sunflowers came up, that it would be a good crop to crush and use for the oil and for the byproduct for our cattle. So 2010, we started to crush the seed, and it started taking off. But about 3 months after that, we went to the shelf with the oil for retail. We started out doing a lot of farmers markets, and after about 6 months, we started going into the stores, or a couple of retail stores. We got a couple stories from the local papers, and it just started taking off from there. And all of a sudden, 8 years later, we're here. So it's been a long road to have that added value to that crop, but I think it's all worth it. So,
well, it's a grand success story in terms of what Minnesotans can do, and it's a family operation. I know your children work with you in the family, I presume, and it's more than just a matter of lucking out. You went through, and you could tell us how many thousands of hours to make sure you had the right product. And also, how do you market that product?
Our biggest thing is probably word of mouth. There's not a lot of marketing dollars when you're starting out a small company. So we rely on a lot of word of mouth. The internet has been a huge success, or social media, for getting our word out and educating people on the health benefits of sunflower oil. My wife works with me. Both of us quit our daytime jobs back in 2012 and 13. So she does all the books for us, and she's been a huge help. And the kids have been, they're already 12 and 16, and they do a lot of work on the farm for me, like when I'm gone. It takes the whole family to get it all done, and it's been fun though.
Here's your opportunity for a 20-second promotion. Why should I use sunflower oil as opposed to some of the other products on the grocery store shelves?
Well, everybody always compares it to olive oil, I guess. So between olive oil, we're a lower saturated fat or half the saturated fat as olive oil, and we're high in monounsaturated fat. We have a long shelf life on our product because we cold press it. We don't use any chemicals in the process to extract the oil from the seed. And the whole product or everything we produce gets used. It's a complete, all the meal, all the oil, everything is used. So
you have no waste going into any kind of a area disposal spot? You keep it within the farm?
Yeah, we're selling some of the byproduct as we grow. I can't feed it all on our feedlot anymore. So we're going to local feedlots around us. The co-op is using it locally. And now we're looking at separating the protein from the meal to have a concentrated protein. We were just at a meeting today with AURI, and it was all about concentrated protein and how the economics of the food industry is changing, that there's so many people out there that are looking for concentrated protein, and from shakes to food bars to wherever. So we've had a lot of requests for this, and so AURI is actually helping us develop that product now. So and they're just such a huge asset for us to go into this, to differentiate all these different products that we can make out of our sunflowers.
Now you have branched out. I'm aware of your popcorn product, which is fairly new. How did that come along, and how well is it doing?
Well, it's a funny story, but we met down in Redwood Falls at Farm Fest, and we have two different businesses, and we have a agriculture business for selling grain dryers or grain handling equipment, and the farmer wanted a grain dryer, so I went out to the farm, and he's from Mora, and we did a deal, and I gave him a bottle of sunflower oil, and he asked if it was good with popcorn. So I said, absolutely. We've been demoing popcorn for years, and so here he walks into the back shop, and he shows me this machine. He says, well, will this oil work with this machine? I said, I don't even know what that machine does, but it makes microwave popcorn, and he sells it all over the world. And so we teased each other for 2 years back and forth if we should make microwave popcorn with our oil. And about a year ago, he calls and he says, we're going to make popcorn. So the first oil that we put in the bags, I think the oil came out faster than it was a disaster because no one puts liquid oil in paper. So we decided, well, let's take it one step further. So we went with a chemical-free bag or a floral-free bag. So there's no wax in that product in the bag itself, and no additives. And we just want to bring a healthy product to the consumer, and just like with our oil. So it's about in December is when we went to distribution, and it just keeps on growing. We're in about 150 stores now, and just keeps on growing slowly. So it's been really fun.
Well, I'm going to turn to Commissioner Frederickson for a moment, because Dave, as you travel around the state of Minnesota, and you've been in agriculture for these many years, this is a success story that has been replicated in other commodities, but it's one of those stories that's homegrown. Pierz, Minnesota, popcorn, sunflower oil comes together along with a heck of a lot of hard work. So as Minnesota continues to change in its ag economy, we still have the very large thousands of acres of corn and beans, but we have the niche products such as smoothies.
You're absolutely right, Jim. And the smoothie family, they are poster child, maybe not quite child, let's say, but poster people for value added across Minnesota. And Tom referenced AURI. And for those listeners that don't know what AURI is, it's Ag Utilization Research Institute. And let's go back in time. 31 years ago, Roger Moe, then the Senate Majority Leader, introduced the legislation for Ag Utilization Research Institute. And it has been a huge success story for the last 31 years, investing in value-added products for families across Minnesota to add value, again, as I said, to their product. And the Smoothies are on top of it. We have been partners at the Department of Ag in that we administer something called the AgriFund. Our AgriFund invests in growers who are looking for opportunity to add value. We do farm-to-school programs. We do renewable energy. It's functions because of a $10 million corpus of funds that we're able to establish on a year-by-year basis. We have totally $20 million. And by grants, we assist those growers with new ideas, new concepts, and we're proud to be part of the Smoothie operation in the early days, to assist them in getting it off the ground.
Well, I know that the Smoothie family has to have operational funding from perhaps typical farm lenders. But beyond that, you do have your oar in the water, so to speak, and you're doing this in other commodities as well throughout the state. Is that not true?
Yeah, we are. We're working, for example, one of the ideas that we're working on, and we are in our third year of it, is raising industrial hemp. And so, raising hemp is difficult, but the toughest stuff is the processing and the marketing of any product that we might be able to glean from that new crop. I think it's incumbent on the state of Minnesota to be forward-looking, to thinking about the future and what shall we be raising. I don't know if corn and soybeans will be the one that continues on into the next 20, 30, 40, 50 years. But if it does, that's great. But at the same time, we should be looking for alternatives, other crops. So we're looking at pennycress, for example. We're looking at Kernza as a new product. We're looking at products that can help with water quality, for example, in a double cropping, cover crop situation. So we're constantly looking at opportunities, and of course those opportunities come from people. Another one is raising hops. You have a young fellow, Eric, who is raising hops, and here it's very important that we continue to pursue that.
Well, it seems to me that our country is producing beer consumers, and so hops will be necessary, right?
Well, here in the studio, we're sitting right next door to a brew pub, and they're right all over the place in the Twin Cities.
What about the future of the large farms, those that farm thousands of acres for corn, soybeans, typically? They're going to be there, and they're probably, you tell me, going to get larger and continue to produce all those huge amounts of commodities. But there is the niche farming. And how many people, such as Tom, step into, I'm going to do something a bit different. I don't want to raise 4,000 acres of beans.
Well, I'll let Tom answer that, but I think the list is growing a lot. Tom?
Yeah, it's at the meeting today, there was so many people there that had small farms. Actually, I met Eric today. That Eric said he had 83 acres now of hops, and it's, 83 acres is nothing in the grand scheme of things, and like you're talking 4,000 acres. Well, there's a lot of people that are raising a lot of stuff on 10 acres, a lot of different vegetables, and so it's really neat to see if they can, to cash flow it is probably the toughest part, but they find that market, and just it's the added value, and it took us a while. We had to earn trust from everybody that we went out and tried to sell this to and educate, but it's been working. It takes a long time and a lot of hours, like you were saying before, to get there, but I think it's been worth it. I guess.
Proper processing and proper marketing, I believe, is the area that we can help with at the Department of Agriculture.
Well, you have the other challenges that most producers face at some point: financing, cost of production, transportation, all of those fit in. So for the smoothie operation and like small niche farming, are there sweet spots that haven't been examined yet? We've talked about the myriad of things that you're seeing, and Tom, you were at a meeting yet today that you saw more producers who want to do smaller things and perhaps, to use the word, better things maybe.
Yeah, MDA's has some grants out there that we've used already in the past, and I encourage everybody, if they're going to do processing like that or take it to the next step, I would definitely go talk to MDA. It's been a huge help for us. I mean, it all helps. Our main is the bank, the local bank in town, in the small town, and I don't know. It's there are other sources too, but mainly through the bank, and it's hard sometimes to go to the bank and give them a crazy idea and say, I want to crush sunflowers and I want to make some cooking oil, but I did get a look when they first walked into the bank. So, but
I don't doubt
they
Tom.
did trust me, I guess. So,
and it's been proven. So if we can, for the moment, step away from some of the niche farming that we're talking about, but for Commissioner Frederickson, the bigger picture, and we don't know where some of the national things are going, but right now, of course, discussion about trade wars, about tariffs, and a huge impact on Minnesota's ag economy should some of these things come about.
Absolutely, and this is a tough time for Minnesota agriculture. It's a tough time for U.S. agriculture. Commodity prices are in the cellar, and what we don't need right now is a trade war. We raise food, we raise feed, we raise fuel, we raise fiber, and we also are involved in export opportunity. Those are the pillars that support Minnesota agriculture, and frankly, they're the pillars that support U.S. agriculture and world agriculture. We have to look elsewhere for other markets. We're great producers. We produce a lot. And our other countries, our partners, like the product that we raise here in Minnesota. A few years ago, I traveled to Taiwan, and for the express purpose of inviting them to come to Minnesota and announce the purchase of, every 2 years, Taiwan comes and buys somewhere in the area of $3 billion worth of corn and soybeans. They're great partners for us. I went there, and as I was leaving, I said, now, I hope you come to Minnesota and announce the purchase of your biennial purchase. And the fellow said, from the government, said, well, we probably will. And the reason is because you came all the way over here and invited us. And so those personal relationships, and what's happening right now is we're harming those personal relationships. We worked really hard to establish them, and so I'm concerned about that. I hope that we're able to move beyond this and move into a continuing to work with a direct relationship with our trade partners. We don't need a trade war. I remember during the embargo years of the Carter administration when the talk was, don't use food as a weapon. I agree, we shouldn't do that, and unfortunately it looks as though we are.
Well, we're at a time in this program, and the timing of this program, we'll see what happens coming month down the road here, another 6 weeks or so. But Washington will make some decisions, and unfortunately, at times, they're wagging the dog and not helpful to Minnesotans in general. Aside from the trade wars and tariffs, you've got, as you mentioned, Dave, the low commodity prices. This cycle of prices going up and down mainly has been going down and pretty well staying there. Do you foresee something, setting aside the trade wars, that might be a positive note?
Well, the positive note, obviously, is to continue to make trade work for Minnesota farmers. And and we're surely going to focus on that using our pulpit at the Department of Ag, if you will. The governor's been very focused on making sure that those trade opportunities continue to be available, has written a letter to President Trump encouraging him to create an opportunity where we end this trade war discussion. Big picture, you know, we'll continue to raise corn, soybeans. We're number one in a variety of crops here in Minnesota. With soybeans, we're number 3 of the 50 states. And so we're very reliable and strong producers of those commodities. You know, we've suffered with low prices in the past. I farmed right through the 80s. It was tough. But we all made it through, or many of us made it through, and many of us were lost along the way. And so that's really unfortunate. And you can see that in towns all across Minnesota, the fact that we just don't have the resources anymore that we had 30, 40, 50 years ago.
Maybe one of the next big products to come out of Minnesota nationally, internationally, will be Smoody's sunflower oil and popcorn. As we head toward the end of our gathering here, Tom, do you have any ideas about future products, or are you sticking with your mainstays right now?
Well, we do have all our flavored oils that we came out with, and that's all pretty much demand from, or just people emailing us to social media and just say, can you develop this? Can you develop this? And so we've been just listening to the customer. And same with the popcorn. A lot of people asked us for convenience of having popcorn, and I just, with the wrap of microwave popcorn on the shelf now, we just wanted that natural product. And we are going to expand this summer. We're putting up a new building to increase capacity on this popcorn. We do want to take it national. I just believe in that product, that it's a healthier product, and I think it has some merit.
So if somebody's driving through Piers, they may stop at your place and get a look at what you do and where you do it.
Sure, we're in Piers every day, so.
I'll meet up with the commissioner and we'll come up and have a lot of popcorn. How does that
We'd
sound?
like. Perfect.
I'm in. I'm totally in, Jim.
Well, gentlemen, we are about out of time, but I do want to give my thanks to Minnesota Agricultural Commissioner Dave Fredrickson and Tom Smoody for sharing the good, the better, and the best of Minnesota's agricultural community. And thank you, viewers, for joining us. If you have a topic of interest which will add to the broad spectrum of issues presented here on Compass, please contact us at pioneer.org. And please join us again as we move around the compass. Thank you for viewing.
To play us out this week, here's a selection from Pioneer's Grassland Jam.
a jump down, turn around, and pick a bale of day. Oh, Lord, I can pick a bale of cotton. Oh, Lord, I can pick a bale of day. Oh, Lord, I can pick a bale of cotton. Oh, Lord, I can pick a bale of day.
Hi, I'm Jim Thoreen, Pioneer's host of Compass. Join me and Minnesota Secretary of State Steve Simon, along with Crow Wing County Election Supervisor Debbie Erickson, to learn about the safety and security of our election process. That's Compass on Pioneer. Have you missed an episode of Compass? Every episode is available to watch free online at video.pioneer.org or on the PBS video app. And keep up to date with the latest Compass happenings on our Facebook page. Search Compass on Pioneer on Facebook and hit the like button.